inside of 9 laps remaining. The field making their way into 3 and 4. Elliott Sadler next time by will have just 8 laps to go to hold off Michael Waltrip, Austin Dillon, the 29 of Parker Kligerman.
I think Michael's going to be satisfied just to sit right there till the very last lap. Will he wait till the backstretch on the last lap or coming off forward, DW?
I think he and the 3 truck are trying to figure out what they're going to do, if they're going to do something.
That inside line hugging the yellow line.
Remember, that's a Chevrolet in the lead with Elliott Sadler. That's a KHI truck. Michael's a Toyota, and the 3 truck is an RCR Chevrolet. But remember, same engines, ECR engines for both those teams. You think if Michael pulls out, the 3's going to let him go and jump in with the 2? That's
what I think. I think that's the whole key to this deal here. Is the 3 going to go with Michael if he decides to go? But Phil, there is some irony in this whole setup. There's Michael in the 15. You got Dillon in the 3. It's February the 18th.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
10 years ago.
10 years ago today.
The 84 of Chris Fontaine, right in front of the 18 of Kyle Busch. Looks like a little steam maybe coming out of the 18 of Kyle Busch.
How about Todd Bodine with all the damage to his truck? He got the lucky dog just a few moments ago, and right now being shown up in the top 10.
That's what would make you mad. If you're sitting out there and you haven't been in any wreck, you hadn't had any trouble, and people that look like this cat right here go driving by you. That will make you a little...
line work, guys. Here comes Chris Fontaine with Kyle Busch behind him. The outside line is working.
Stay on the brake. Let off the brake.
Where did he come from?
Remember, Chris Fontaine had such a great run at Talladega, ran out of fuel. Right now, Kyle Busch may not even know who Chris Fontaine is, and right now they're acting like teammates.
Well, you know what? There's always a surprise when you come to Daytona. In every race, there's somebody that shows up that you just don't expect. And right now, he happens to be driving truck number 84.
One of the things, and we only have 6 laps, less than 6 laps to go. I'm seeing steam come out of the 18 of Kyle Busch. He is tucked in behind that 84. Krista?
Kyle hasn't said anything about a potential overheating problem, but he does know who Chris Fontaine is. He knew he was going to match up with him in these closing laps once the field shuffled out, where that was his only hope. But he did say he wasn't sure if he trusted him. He wasn't sure if he should be pushing or being up front, because he didn't know how the spotters would work.
How about this? Chris Fontaine in front of the field at Daytona International Speedway. He's got his hands full with Kyle Busch shoving from behind.
Kyle Busch will blow up. He's going to blow that thing up, but he is not going to get out behind him.
More steam coming out of that 18 truck.
Kyle Busch tries to cheat to the outside to get some air. You heard him say, got to get down.
Ahead. He has slow truck ahead.
That's going to hurt the performance of that 18. When that thing gets so hot and it finally loses enough water, it'll hurt the performance of it. It'll start to detonate.
So give me some air, and you still see the steam rolling out at the base of the windshield of the 18 of Kyle Busch. Is he going to get shuffled out of the way? Here comes the 31 of James Buescher up the middle.
I don't know if there's any room, but there
trouble. Problems as they go through the triangle. Austin Dillon is caught up in it. The 31 of Buescher's caught up in it.
That's the rest of the field.
They're all in it. They're all in it.
There's only 2 guys left running.
The 2 that made it through, Elliott Sadler, Michael Waltrip. Take a look at the cars, trucks that are still under their own power.
Elliott Sadler, Michael Waltrip, Miguel Paludo.
Chris Fontaine in the 84.
How about Austin Dillon? Look at all the damage on that 3 truck of Austin Dillon's.
There was some heavy contact. The 18 has got damage and looks like a steam engine.
Todd Bodine
this is his second
to climb out.
His second go around. He said, I guess that'll about do it right there, boys.
Brad Sweet, great run going. That great Clips Chevrolet.
Parker Kligerman running the 29. Had such a good run going. There's the 84 of Chris Fontaine. I was wondering if he was able to get through. He was not.
What a great job, Chris Fontaine. Kyle Busch almost pushed him to the lead. Timothy Peters, he was the 4th truck in line. There's Ricky Carmichael. You see the damage on Ricky Carmichael's truck.
You know, I believe if the 18 hadn't have gotten hot and started blowing
Speaking
steam
of getting
out.
hot, Jennifer Jo Cobb pulls up next to Kyle Busch and voices her displeasure.
Not sure. I'd have to see all the replays to see what that's all about.
Max Pappas also pulls up. Chris Fontaine out of his truck. Todd Bodine out of his truck.
James Buescher jumps to the inside. Let's see who makes contact first. James Buescher's good.
They just start bouncing around back in there.
It was really Brad Sweet in the 32 truck. Maybe the 32 got hooked by the 51 truck. Red flag is out.
That's kind of what it looked like. They just started moving around. They were wobbling as they were going down toward turn 1 there. Truck gets really free coming through the tri-oval here, especially when you get them 3 wide like that.
It was 3 wide in front of where the truck that got a little bit.
Here's another look now. Watch.
A little bit sideways.
Watch behind the blue truck. That's the 32 behind the blue truck. Looks like he may have got pushed from behind, and that got him into the truck on the inside.
I believe that.
Is that Eric Almirola, maybe the 51 truck?
That black truck has
and the
Almirola.
Parker Kligerman.
Yeah, Almirola got it going.
I think he got in the back of Brad Sweet, possibly.
Yeah.
And then turned him sideways.
And, buddy, when he did.
There's another view. Watch behind the blue truck now. Watch behind the blue truck.
He'll catch the 29 of Parker Kligerman.
I don't think the 51 was into the back of him, DW.
It almost looked like the 32 and the 18 made some contact.
Blocks the track, and nobody had anywhere to go. Ricky Carmichael did a nice job going down through the grass to avoid that.
About a $500,000 junkyard right there. We just keep looking at this. We'll figure it out. The 31 is going to squeeze in right here, and this is what starts to create the commotion. Looking.
Yep, here we're going to. You see Buescher start wobbling there a little bit.
Little bit of movement.
What's then maybe the 93 of Cole Witt may have got into Brad Sweet, possibly. Yep. Right into his left rear corner. How about Miguel Paluda, that white truck, avoiding that's going to end up in the 3rd spot when they get to turn 1.
But Phil, you know, when they start moving around like that, all that movement, you really don't have control of your truck.
You talked about at the very opening of the show. You run just as fast on that portion of the racetrack. It's only banked 18 degrees.
The things really get free and light coming through there.
3 wide here. Looking to make it 3 wide. Hold your line up top. Wrecking.
Yeah, that lick. Whoever was under the 31 got into the 31, and I think may have started that. And we think it may have been Cole Witt.
There's Timothy Peters. He's going to be another one of the guys, the fortunate ones that gets through this.
If you can get through this, you're Houdini. That's all I know. Look at this. How are you going to get through here? How are you going to get through here?
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. All right, let's look at this real close now. These guys right here, and maybe this is where it came from. 2 black trucks down on the inside. Now let's see where they go. 31.
He squeezes the 29 down a little bit. There's the 32. He starts wiggling. He started wiggling. The 51 of Almirola did not get in the back of that 32. He just got a little bit loose, like you talked about, turned sideways and got into the truck on the inside.
Clipped him and turned him right into the 31. Get enough looks at this thing, we'll figure it all out eventually. Oh my, look at that at real time.
That was a hard hit by Parker Kligerman.
And I'm not sure, Phil, but down in there may not be any safer barrier. I think that's right in a part of the racetrack where they don't have safer barrier.
Just before it starts back for the corner.
Yeah, they had just gone through the
There's a start-finish line right there. Just past that.
Now
there was some safer barrier there.
They caught some of it right at the end of the safer barrier. Yeah. You can see, if you look on the outside, you'll see those blocks of styrofoam Yeah, right. He caught it right on the end.
Piece of sheet metal flying through the air and
flying everywhere.
Thank goodness that it landed in the infield.
What an amazing job, though, by Miguel Paludo to avoid this, as well as Timothy Peters. And those essentially were the only 4 trucks to emerge unscathed.
You see the damage to a lot of the trucks that are stopped here because we're under a red flag condition.
Can you believe the way the seas parted for that 17, though? I mean, how could he get through that whole mess? He drove through the whole thing and didn't hit anybody.
A lot of damaged race trucks.
If I don't trust it, if I shut it off, it'll fire back up.
Kyle Busch saying, I don't want to shut it off. Trucks that looked so good earlier today, now messed up.
Dale had a charm that he could turn on and off. And he had a real gruffness and standoffishness. He could really reach both ends of the spectrum, you know, and switch it on and off within a minute if he wanted to. A lot of times, he'd be just fooling with you, but you really wouldn't know until you saw that crooked smile, you know, from underneath the mustache, and you knew he was just playing with you.
10 years ago today, that's coming up next, The Day, remembering Dale Earnhardt.
An absolute riveting piece. I mean, it's the people that were just pouring their hearts out about how that affected them that day.
Well, I think that day changed our sport immensely in so many ways. And obviously the huge loss of Dale Sr., but so many things have transpired since then. We just talk about the safer barrier that time that Parker Kligerman ran into. You know, that came after Dale Sr. and the seat technology and the headrest and basically the Sprint Cup car all came out of that, and just an amazing human being and so you know, larger than life.
Yes.
And so we're under a red flag condition with just a few laps remaining here at Daytona International Speedway, and one of the drivers involved in this incident, Brad Sweet, is with Chris Devoda.
That's right, Rick. We knew that the real estate would get a lot smaller as the laps got smaller. Is that what happened out there? Can you walk us through your incident?
Yeah, you know, the outside line got going there, and you know, we're getting down to crunch time, and I went with my teammate. He tried to hang Kyle out to dry there, and you know, we were kind of hung in the middle. I honestly don't know what happened. I'm kind of watching the replay right now, but you know, I went with James in the middle there, and I felt like someone just maybe got my right rear corner, left rear corner or something, and you know, went spinning up in the wall. But you know, hats off to our guys. You know, Turner Motorsports, we ran up front all race. You know, our trucks were super fast. Great Clip Chevy was just amazingly fast there, and I think we would have had something for him at the end, but you know, we're on the hook, and you know, we'll get him next week.
Thanks, Brad.
Let's see if we can talk to Mikey. Hey, Mikey, it's us in the speed booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, Phil, I got you. I've been going crazy down here. Why didn't y'all call earlier?
Well, you know, when the caution comes out, we have to do commercials and stuff like that. We wanted to talk to you. We just haven't had time. But did you catch a glimpse of that in your mirror?
Oh yeah. Kyle Busch is an amazing race car driver, man. He's the only one that could have got those guys there. If you don't have NASCAR.com race view, get it before Sunday, because you're going to see the most amazing race ever in the 500. And these guys are just that good. They figured out how to make it a battle to the end. And I had to push on my buddy Elliott. I had my truck all up against his back end, and he was able to hang on to it, thankfully.
Mikey, there aren't many of you guys left standing. I mean, you and Elliott got through there, and then Timothy Peters and Miguel Paludo. What is getting down to crunch time here? You won't have but 2 or 3 laps to go. How are you going to beat that 2 truck?
Well, we've been talking about that. I still believe the best way for me to try to win is to let him start on the outside and get in front of me. That way I know I'm right on him. If I can get the right push from the truck behind me, the 7, then we can make a run on him. So it's risky, but Elliott's faster than me. He's got more speed, and I'm afraid that if I get beside him, I won't have a chance to win. I think if I do this, I'll have a chance.
All right, buddy, we know you can do it. We've watched you do it here in the Cup Series. Hey, how about throwing it to our broadcast partner, Ray, on pit road?
Hey, Ray, I'm in chassis 75 out here. I'm running second, but I got to get her to victory lane, brother.
Well, Michael, we wish you good luck. And when we talk about chassis, how about KHI? They bought 3 brand new trucks this week. And Bruce Cook, looks like you guys prepared a pretty good one. But what do you think it's going to be for strategy to pull off this victory for the 2 truck?
I think you just got to basically get to the bottom and have Michael keep pushing him like we've been doing all night. It seems to work very good, them 2 trucks together. And seems like 90% of the rest of the field's tore up. So we'll see what happens right there with them 2 trucks. It's probably going to come down to them 2 trucks, I hope.
Pretty good way to start off the season and a pretty good way to start off your Truck Series crew chiefing role.